Namaskar students. In this video, we will take a problem on eigenvalues and eigenvectors. The problem is find the eigenvalues and eigenvectors of the given matrix A. The matrix which is given here is of order 3. It is a square matrix. So we know that eigenvalues are the roots of characteristic equation. So for finding the eigenvalues, firstly we need to find characteristic equation. Now what is characteristic equation? See here, if we have any matrix A and it's a square matrix of order say n, then the first term which we have is characteristic polynomial, which is given by this determinant. The determinant of this A minus lambda I, this is called characteristic polynomial. This characteristic polynomial will be of degree n. And if we equate this characteristic polynomial to 0, we will get a characteristic equation. And this characteristic equation for a square matrix of order n will be of degree n. The roots of this characteristic equation, which is in lambda, those roots are termed as eigenvalues. So for this case, when we are saying that A is a square matrix of order n, then the characteristic equation is of degree n. So the number of eigenvalues which we will be getting, that will be n, because we will be having n roots. Here, in this particular example, characteristic polynomial will be of degree 3, characteristic equation will be of degree 3, and the roots and the eigenvalues which we'll be getting, they will be 3 in number. So let's start. So the characteristic equation of this given matrix A is this one, that the determinant of this A minus lambda I is equal to 0. Here we are considering the determinant of A minus lambda I, and we are equating this determinant to 0. We can very easily, we can evaluate the left hand side. We can solve the determinant which is present on the left hand side. If we expand this determinant along the first row, we will be getting this one. And after simplifying it further, we will be getting our characteristic equation, which is cubic in nature, which is of degree 3, which is in terms of lambda. By factorizing it, we can find out its 3 roots. By hidden trial, we can check here that if we put here lambda as 2, then this characteristic equation will be satisfied. It means that this lambda minus 2 is one of its factor, and this is the quadratic factor. Further, factorizing this quadratic term, we are getting here 3 roots of this characteristic equations, which are 2, 2, and 8. Since we know that the roots of characteristic equations are the eigenvalues, so for this particular matrix A, we have 2 eigenvalues, which are 2 and 8. Here, this eigenvalue 2, it is repeating, and it is repeating 2 times, this and this. Now, for these eigenvalues, 2 and 8, we will be finding eigenvectors. Now, what is eigenvector? Let us discuss briefly about the eigenvector. A is a square matrix of order n, and suppose lambda is its eigenvalue. Then corresponding to this lambda, x, which is a non-zero and which is of order n by 1. This non-zero vector x of order n by 1 will be eigenvector corresponding to this eigenvalue lambda for this matrix A if this product Ax is equal to lambda x. On the right hand side, we have the scalar multiplication. Lambda is here the eigenvalue, which is a scalar, and x is here the eigenvector, which is non-zero, and its order is n by 1. This equation can be written as On right hand side, we can introduce the identity matrix of order n, and we can write this vector x as ix. And if we simplify it further, if we take this lambda ix on the left hand side, we can write it as that A minus lambda I x is equal to 0 matrix, null matrix. So if lambda is an eigenvalue of this matrix A, then this non-zero vector x of order n by 1 is an eigenvector if this product Ax is equal to the scalar multiplication of this lambda, this eigenvalue lambda, with this same vector x. And we can rewrite this equation in this form. So for finding the eigenvectors corresponding to any eigenvalue lambda, we will be considering this A minus lambda I x equal to 0, which will be giving us a homogeneous system of linear equations. And by solving that homogeneous system of linear equation, we will be finding eigenvectors. So let us find out the eigenvector corresponding to eigenvalue 2, and then we will be finding eigenvector corresponding to the second eigenvalue, which is 8. So eigenvector corresponding to eigenvalue 2. Lambda is a notation which we are using here for eigenvalue. Eigenvector x, we are denoting here the eigenvector by x. It is a non-zero vector. Corresponding to eigenvalue lambda equal to 2 are given by A minus 2i times x equal to 0. See here what we are doing. We have just discussed that the eigenvectors are given by this equation. Now, since we are finding the eigenvector corresponding to the eigenvalue 2, so what we are putting here lambda, we are putting here lambda as 2. So this will be reduced to A minus 2i times x. X is the eigenvector, and the right hand side is the null matrix. A minus 2i is a given matrix. A minus 2i will be this matrix, and this x is the eigenvector, this one, which we have to find out, and it should be non-zero. And on the right hand side, we have null matrix. So what we are seeing here, that this is a homogeneous system of linear equation, and by solving this homogeneous system of linear equation, we have to find out this unknown eigenvector x, and it should be non-zero. We know that homogeneous system of linear equation has always a trivial solution as its solution, but we are not interested here in that trivial solution. We are interested here in non-zero solution. Now, let us solve this homogeneous system of linear equation so that we can find out this eigenvector x. So we are considering here the coefficient matrix corresponding to this homogeneous system of linear equation. So this is C1, the notation for the coefficient matrix. The coefficient matrix is 4, minus 2, 2, this first row, minus 2, 1, minus 1, and third row of the coefficient matrix is 2, minus 1, 1. Now, for solving homogeneous system of linear equation or any system of linear equation, what we do, we reduce the augmented matrix, and here we are considering only the coefficient matrix because it is the case of homogeneous system of linear equation. So what we do, we reduce coefficient matrix here to echelon form by using elementary row transformations. So let us apply elementary row transformations and try to reduce this coefficient matrix C1 to row echelon form so that we can read its rank. Then we can consider equations which we will be getting from that echelon form, and we can find out these unknowns x1, x2, x3, and we can obtain the eigenvector x. Here we can see here that 2 is present in all the entries in the first row. So we are using this transformation in which we are multiplying this first row with a non-zero scalar, which is 1 by 2. On applying this transformation, we are getting this matrix. And since we have to reduce it to the echelon form, here with the help of this 2, we can easily make these two entries as 0. So for making these two entries 0, we are applying this transformation on second row. We are changing second row with the help of first row, and the scalar which we are using here with the first row is 1. Similarly here, for making this entry 2 as 0, again we are using the first row, and the scalar now which we are using with the first row is -1. So after applying these two elementary row transformation, second and third row will be changed. There is no change in first row, it is same 2 minus 1, 1. But second and third row have been changed and they have become 0 rows. Now this matrix is an echelon form, and from this matrix we can read the rank of coefficient matrix. Here the number of non-zero rows in this echelon form is only 1 because this is non-zero row, and if I talk about the second and third, these are the 0 rows. So the number of non-zero rows is 1. So the rank of this coefficient matrix is 1. From this echelon form, we can write down the reduced system of linear equation, and that will be having only one equation because we have only one non-zero row in the echelon form. And that equation is the coefficient of x1 is 2, 2x1, this. Then the coefficient of x2 is -1, so it will be minus x2. And the coefficient of x3 is 1, so it will be plus x3. So this is the one equation which we are getting from the echelon form. Now, here rank is 1. And the homogeneous system of linear equation which we are solving so that we can find out the eigenvector x has how many unknowns? We have 3 unknowns here. We can see here 3 unknowns, x1, x2, x3. So what is n? N is 3. Now, it is clear that it is a case of infinite solution because rank is less than number of unknowns. So we will be assuming some free variables so that we can find out those infinite solutions. So how many free variables we will be assuming? That will be depending on this difference n minus r. N minus r is here 3 minus 1, 2. So we will be assuming here 2 free variables. So what we are assuming here? We are assuming that x2 is equal to k1. x2 is a free variable. It is free to take any value. And the second free variable which we are assuming is x3. And we're saying that x3 is equal to k2. That x3 is again free to take any real value. Now, we have here only one equation. And if we put these free variables here, x2 as k1 and x3 as k2, then we can find out this third unknown, which is x1. So by considering here x2 as k1, x3 as k2, we can check here that x1 will be given by k1 minus k2 whole divided by 2. So what we are getting? We are getting here that this eigenvector x, which is equal to x1, x2, x3, this is equal to x1 is k1 minus k2 by 2. Here it is x3. x2 is k1 and this x3 is k2. So this is the eigenvector. Now for this eigenvalue, which is 2, we are finding here the eigenvector corresponding to the eigenvalue, which is 2. For this eigenvalue 2, we will be finding how many eigenvectors? Again, it will be depending on this n minus r. Here n minus r is 2. So we will be finding 2 eigenvectors. See, we have infinite solutions. By taking some values of k1 and k2, we'll be getting infinite eigenvectors. You'll be getting infinite vectors corresponding to this x. So how many vectors we have to consider? That is n minus r, that is 2, and that 2 should be independent. So for any eigenvalue lambda, we will be finding n minus r independent eigenvectors. So for here, for lambda equal to 2, n minus r is 2. So by considering suitable values of these K1 and K2, we will be finding two independent eigenvectors. So let us see that what values we should consider here so that we get two independent eigenvectors. So we are considering firstly K1 as 2, K2 as 0. It is not necessary that you consider this set of values. You can consider any other set of values. I am considering here K1 as 2 and K2 as 0. If K1 is 2, what is K1? K1 is x2. It means this x2 is 2 and x3 is K2. So x3 will be 0. So this x2 will be 2 and x3 will be 0 and this x1 will become 1. So we will be getting first eigenvector. We have denoted the first eigenvector by x1 and here x1 is 1, x2 is 2 and x3 is 0. So this is the first eigenvector. Now, since here n minus r, n is 3, rank is 1, n minus r is 2. So we need to find two independent eigenvectors. So we will be finding one more eigenvector and that should be independent with this x1. So what another set of these K1 and K2 we can consider? See, if I consider, say, K1 as 3 and K2 as 0, I will be getting some solution. I will be getting some eigenvector, but that will be dependent with this eigenvector which we have obtained right now. So the another choice which I am taking here is, now I am considering K1 as 0 and K2 as 2. And with this substitution, I will be getting another eigenvector x2 and it will be of this form. So corresponding to eigenvalue lambda equal to 2, we have evaluated two eigenvectors as x1 and x2. Now let us proceed further for finding the eigenvector corresponding to second eigenvalue, which is 8. So eigenvector corresponding to eigenvalue lambda equal to 8. Again, we are assuming eigenvector as x. It is a non-zero vector. And now this equation a minus lambda I x equal to 0. It will become a minus 8i x equal to 0. So by putting here lambda as 8, we will be getting this system of linear equation, homogeneous system of linear equation. If I consider its coefficient matrix, we are denoting the coefficient matrix now as C2. So this is the coefficient matrix for this homogeneous system of linear equations. We will be reducing it to echelon form so that we can find out its rank. We can find out the reduced system of linear equation. So we have applied the sequence of elementary row transformations and we have reduced the C2 to row echelon form. This is the row echelon form, and if we check the number of non-zero rows in this row echelon form of the coefficient matrix C2, then this is non-zero row, this is non-zero row, and this last one is a zero row. So how many non-zero rows we have? We have two non-zero rows. So the rank of coefficient matrix in this particular case is 2. Earlier, for eigenvalue lambda equal to 2, we were getting rank as 1. But for this case, for lambda equal to 8, the system of linear equation has changed. And the echelon form of this system of linear equation, echelon form of the coefficient matrix corresponding to this system of linear equation has rank 2. We will be getting two equations. What are those two equations? We can write it from this echelon form. From first row, we will be getting first equation, which is x1 plus x2 minus x3 equal to 0 because it is homogeneous system of linear equations. The second equation which we will be getting will be minus 3x2 minus 3x3 equal to 0, which can be further written as x2 plus x3 equal to 0. Now here, number of unknowns are 3. Rank is 2. It will be the case of infinite solutions. We will be assuming some free variables. The number of free variables which we will be assuming will be n minus r, which is 1. So now we need to assume only one free variable. See, here we have two equations. Earlier, we were getting only this one equation. But now we are getting two equations. So we will be assuming one free variable, and since n minus r is 1, we need to find only one eigenvector. So the free variable which we will be assuming here will be x3. We have assumed x3 as m1. x3 is free to take any real value m1. If x3 is m1, so we have to move in backward direction because we will be finding other unknowns x2 and x1 by back substitution. So if I put here x3 as m1 in this equation, I will be getting x2 as minus m1. And if I put x2 and x3 in this equation, in this one, I can find out x1, and that x1 is 2 times m1. So what we are getting? We are getting here that this eigenvector x having unknowns x1, x2, x3 will be having this form. Don't consider here m1 as 0 because the eigenvector is a non-zero vector. So the simple value which we can consider here non-zero is 1. So if I consider here m1 as 1, we will be getting third eigenvector. Since we have already used the notation of x1 and x2 for the eigenvectors, corresponding to the eigenvalue lambda equal to 2. So here for lambda equal to 8, we are getting only one eigenvector. We will be finding only one eigenvector because here n minus r is 1, and that we have denoted by x3, and this is x3. If I put here m1 as 1, it will be 2 minus 1, 1. So for this particular matrix, we have two eigenvalues, which are 2 and 8. Corresponding to 2, we are getting two eigenvectors. Be careful. Two eigenvectors which we will be evaluating, they should be independent. And corresponding to eigenvalue 8, we have only one eigenvector. Thank you. Have a nice day.